Hey everybody, this is What's Up with Giancarlo. Ooh, he's the coolest. Yeah, I love him. All right, everybody, we're back again with Topic 7, Lesson 8. We've got ratio reasoning, convert customary units. So, fun little story. The customary system is used by three countries in the world. Yeah. Us and I believe 2 countries in the Middle East. Okay? Everybody else uses the metric system. So, next lesson should be a little bit easier. All right? Because next lesson is convert metric units. But let's dive on in. Example 1. Convert customary units of length. The sidewalk in front of a store is 4.5 feet wide. The city regulations establish a maximum width for sidewalks of 66 inches. Does the sidewalk meet the city regulations? So, what we can do here is write our rate first. 12 inches to 1 foot. We're going from feet to inches, inches to feet, yada, 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 bing, bang, boom. All right? So we write in black 12 to 1. And now we know that inches is on top, feet is on the bottom. So we want to go to 4.5 feet so we know how many inches it is. So 4.5. And I put 4.5 on the bottom because it's feet. Feet, feet, inches, inches. Okay? How do we get from 1 to 4.5? Well, I'll tell you right now. A little secret I got. We multiply by 4.5. Okay? And whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. Boom. So what is 12 times 4.5? It is 54. So the correct answer is yes. It does meet the city regulations. Boom. All right. So I learned a little cool method a couple years back from some cool people. Okay, it's called the bat and bow method. The bat and bow method. All right. So you write your rate. I've got 12 to 1. I've got 12 to 1. And then, like we know, it's 4.5 over here. I can make that look better. I'm not the best artist, so it may not look like an actual bat and an actual ball or whatever, but whatever. So the bat is drawn around the 2 numbers that are across from each other. Okay, so I've got my bat. Whatever. Like I said, not really looking like a bat or anything, but this is still not even looking like a ball. But it's a circle, so you should know. So what we do in the bat and ball method, once we have our bat and we have our ball, we will multiply the bat. So we will do 4.5 times 12, and we will get 54. And then we will divide by the ball. So we multiply the bat, divide by the ball. And 54 divided by 1 is, you guessed it, 54. And that's how we get it with the bat and ball method. Yeah. So, there is another way that they show you how to do this. Okay, you can pause this, you can write it all down. Cool. I'm moving on. they show you this dimensional analysis way. So use dimensional analysis to convert measures by including measurement units when you multiply by a conversion factor. A conversion factor is a rate that compares equivalent measures. That little click, clackety, clackety, clicking that you hear is my good little boy, Rocky. Rocky Balboa Giancarlo, the best dog in the world. He's keeping me company. Oh, good boy. Who's a good boy? Good boy, Rocky. Shake your head, Rocky. Okay. So, what they do is they get the 4.5 feet. Okay. And then they multiply it by 12 inches to 1 foot. Okay. They cancel out the feet because they cancel out across from each other. And then you're left with 4.5 times 12 inches. And 4.5 times 12 is 54. And then inches. So yes, it meets the city regulations. Again, for like the third time. Yippee! Whew. I bet you thought we were done with example 1, but we're not. We've got to try it. All right? I'll give you a couple seconds to pause it so you can work it out by yourself. Bing, bing, bing. You should have paused it and done it by now. That ding, ding, ding means answer time. Let's go through it. According to city regulations, how many feet is the maximum sidewalk width? So, we have our rate 12 to 1. Rocky, stop it. Hey, good boy. Stop. Good. All right. So, we've got 12 to 1. We don't know how many feet, so we won't have the denominator, but we do know it's 66 inches, which is the maximum sidewalk width. So how do we get from 12 to 66? That's kind of tough to do. Okay? That's kind of tough to do. So my preference of solving right here would be B and B method. I'm not going to put BM. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. I don't know if you guys know it, but a lot of people do. It's haha, whatever. All right. B and B method, bat and ball method. All right. So we draw our bat. Ba-da-ba. Boom. That's the bat. Draw our little ball. Da-da-da-da. Done. So what do we do in the bat and ball method? We multiply the bat. 66, not 666, 66 times 1 equals, you got it, 66. And then we divide by 12. Okay? Everybody with me? We've got 66 times 1 to get 66, divided by 12. And that will be 5.5 feet, because we converted it to feet. So this 66 inches will be 5.5 feet. And then this is inches, this is inches, this is feet, foot, it's just 1 foot. Okay. Now, we're done with example 1. Finally, am I right? Example 2. Convert customary units of capacity. Jonah has 15 gallons of water for a camping trip. How many quarts of water does he have? We've got all the capacity. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 fluid ounce equals 2 tablespoons. 1 quart equals 2 pints. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Okay? So, easiest way to do this. We've got our rate of quarts to gallons 4 to 1, right? Yeah, right? Cool. So we've got 15 gallons. So we know how many gallons we have, but we do not know how many quarts we have. How do we get from 1 to 15, everybody? We multiply by 1/5, we multiply by 15, yeah. So, that person that just said that, yeah, you are right. We multiply by 15, we do it to the numerator as well. So 4 times 15 is 60. So, 15 gallons will be 60 quarts. Real quick, let's show it with bat and ball method. We've got 4 to 1. We've got 15 down here. Let's bat and ball it. Just real quick. Not the best bat. Whatever. I don't care. Got a little ball there. So we've got 15 times 4 equals 60. And then we divide by the ball. We divide by 1. We get an answer 60. 60 quarts. 60 quarts for 15 gallons. All right. Okay, they show you use dimensional analysis. I'm going to be straight up. I don't like dimensional analysis. Okay. Way easier to solve with these, but we can see what they do. They have 15 gallons times 4 quarts to 1 gallon. They cancel out the gallons, and then they multiply 15 times 4 quarts, which is 60 quarts. 60 quarts. Jonah had 60 quarts of water. And his name was Jonas. Da, 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 da. And that's pretty much all I know about the words of that song. So let's go to the try it. So Brandon is making bread. His recipe says to use 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. How many teaspoons of sugar should he use? If I am correct, it was 3 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon. I was right. So we set up our rate and we put down 3 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon. And then we're going to 2.5 tablespoons. So 2.5. Okay, and how do we get, we don't know the teaspoons, but we do know how to get from 1.11, not 1.1, 1 to 2.5. We gotta multiply. 1 times 2.5 is 2.5. And 3 times 2.5 is what, everybody? I can't hear you. It is 7.5. Okay? So we've got 7.5 teaspoons to 2.5 tablespoons. Okay? Easy. Easy. Okay? We're right here. This is easy. Okay? So your answer, how many teaspoons of sugar should he use? It's 7.5 teaspoons of sugar to make bread. Okay? And now we're done with example 2. Let's move on to example 3. Yeah. Convert customary units of weight. The Alpine Pika Pika Puka Paka Pika, don't know what that is, but whatever it is a small mammal in the rabbit family. How much does the Alpine Pika Pika Puka Paka Pika weigh in pounds? Well, we've got our little scale right here. We've got weight. 1 pound equals 16 ounces. 1 T, standing for ton, equals 2,000 pounds. All right. So let's write our rate. We've got 16 ounces to 1 pound. Okay? And you can write OZ, ounces, pound. That's what professionals would do. I'd like to call myself a professional, but whatever. We'll leave it at that. I'm a little bit lazier than professionals, so whatever. But we do know 16 ounces, ounces top, pounds bottom, whatever. So we see this little alpine pika pika pupa peppa pika is 10 ounces. So ounces goes on the top. Okay, and then we don't know how many pounds it is. But do we know how to go from 16 to 10? No, that's a little tough. Okay, so I'm going to use the bat and ball method. So the two numbers that are across from each other in a bat. And then draw my little ball. Got a little ball, play with my little ball. Okay, so now we multiply the bat. 10 times 1, we get 10. All right, now we divide by the ball. 16. 10 divided by 16 equals 0.625. So this little alpine pika pika puka pika 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 weighs 0.625 of a pound. Cool. All right, and they do the dimensional analysis. Boom. And then they show you right here. Same thing that I did with bat and ball. All right. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was my sternum crack. Pretty cool. All right. Last but not least, example 3 to try it. Boom. All right. All right. You should have paused it by now, worked it out. Let's get it right now together as a team and a class and a group and all the other synonyms, okay? So, how many pounds does the elephant weigh? Stella weighs approximately 3.3 tons. So, I know off the top of my head that 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. Okay? And we know that she weighs 3.3 tons. So, how do I get from 1 to 3.3? Well, we multiply by 3.3. And then we do the same thing to the numerator. Multiply by 3.3. And then 2,000 times 3.3 is 6,600. And that's how much Stella weighs in pounds. 6,600 pounds. All right, everybody, that's it. And I know you're thinking, oh, this guy's a weirdo. He does all these weird voices. If you don't like math, you got to entertain yourself somehow. I'm okay with math. I enjoy it. I like it. But you guys don't normally. Some of you do, but normally a lot of you guys don't. So I just try and bring a little extra flair to entice you to these videos. All right? Make fun of me all you want. I don't care. But this is the end of the video. So everybody knows, if you're watching the video, you're part of the class. See you next time, everybody. Peace.